After releasing the critically panned Fallout 76, Bethesda became the butt of jokes within the gaming industry. But this wasn't the first time that Bethesda's credibility would be scrutinized, with the company receiving a lot of flack over publishing the equally panned Rogue Warrior, which is also the game I'm reviewing today. God help me.
Time for a little snoop and poop.
There's no doubt in my mind that Bethesda was trying to replicate the success of Ubisoft's Tom Clancy games before securing the rights to Richard Marcinko's autobiography. The game was formally announced in 2006 under the title Rogue Warrior Black Razor, with development duties assigned to Zombie Studios. Originally, the game was meant to be a co-op shooter not unlike Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, but after years of troubled development, the project was handed over to the UK-based Rebellion. The Black Razor subtitle and co-op elements were dropped during the transition, with this train wreck being the end result. The game is set during the Cold War, where Richard Marcinko leads a group of mercenaries tasked with retrieving intelligence on a new Russian ballistics program. But this is no longer the co-op experience envisioned by Zombie Studios, resulting in Richard's squad members being wiped out by a conveniently added grenade, thus turning the experience into a solo affair. Over the next 8 missions, you'll be killing enemy soldiers, with Richard trying to place for the most swearing in the medium. I'm usually not a fan of frequent coarse language in video games, however Mickey Rourke's delivery turns the script into something that is ironically enjoyable. Just don't expect any playback of these choice words, as I prefer to keep things family friendly. This game embraces the basic shooter formula to a T, with players going from point A to point B while picking off soldiers one by one. This would be fine if the enemy AI and gun feedback wasn't so poor. Not to mention your arsenal is just a collection of bog standard weapons with no unique creations to spice things up. Richard can take cover behind objects like Uncharted, with the game switching over to a third person viewpoint. You can also aim down the sights, but this can hinder your aim since some guns take up a huge amount of screen real estate.
Say it again, boss, you're breaking up.
The action is interspersed with these poorly designed stealth sequences where you take out foes with a silenced pistol or melee attack. The latter yields some over-the-top animations and provides the only entertainment in this game outside the coarse language. Unfortunately, these sections don't provide much of a challenge, as most of the guards are always facing the wall. It's like they're begging to be sacked by the higher-ups, commander, brigadier, or whoever the devil's in charge.
The great leader must have a tiny dick.
Visually, this game lacks any artistic flair, with the flat environments and graphical glitches adding fuel to the fire. Character animation is also choppy, and the gunfire from your weapons is animated at 10 frames per second. The effect looks like it was ripped straight out of a high schooler's film project. The music sounds like the stuff you typically hear in these mid-budget military shooters, with the only standout track being Mickey Rourke's rapping during the credits. No, I'm not making this up.
Anytime, anywhere, any place. Kicking ass, take names.
You can tell Rebellion was tasked with completing this project in a short time frame, as the game can be finished in under 2 hours. In fact, the playthrough I recorded for this review clocks in at 78 minutes. I don't have any evidence to support this, but I wouldn't be surprised the game was an ashcan project designed purely to meet obligations to retain the IP. Because Rogue Warrior is a shooter released during the 7th console generation, the game includes online multiplayer, but unsurprisingly, no one is playing it.
Courtesy of the American taxpayer.
Despite my negativity throughout this review, I still think it's worth a playthrough for anyone that can ironically enjoy mediocre games. If anything, you should buy this game solely for Mickey Rourke's performance. Fortunately, it usually goes on sale on Steam for $1 or $2, and compared to most bad games, it's at least playable enough to experience the train wreck before you go insane.